Hello, my name's Neil. I'm a wellbeing advisor working for Solent Mind, and I have learnt how to use WRAP, which is a Wellness Recovery Action Plan. I speak from a perspective of a user of WRAP. I actually came to mind a couple of years ago myself, and I was taken through WRAP, and I have used the various aspects to help with my wellbeing. And I am an advocate of WRAP, not only because I have actually used WRAP, developed my own and use it on a daily basis, but also the fact that at working at Solent Mind, I facilitate WRAP courses. I've done about 10 to date, and I have seen that WRAP works well for other people. There are 5 key concepts to WRAP. They underpin the strategies that we will use to improve and maintain our well-being. The first one is hope. We're here at this WRAP course because we want to improve our well-being. We must have hopes. We may well want to be well, to be happy, to be more fulfilled in life. Perhaps get back to work, improve our relationships, many different things. Hope is personal to us all, as is WRAP. WRAP isn't something that we just record, it's all the same for everybody, and it's a system that works perfectly, exactly the same for all of us. It's personal to you. It's your WRAP. You have your own hopes. And that moves us on to the second key concept, which is personal responsibility. Who is responsible for your recovery? It has to be you. You are the expert on yourself. You know what things will work for you. You know the best way that you will learn. You know who can support you. It really is down to you. As it says, personal responsibility. And WRAP, as we go through it, will show you how you can take that responsibility. You will learn yourself to bring that out of yourself. You are responsible for your well-being, your happiness, your self-esteem. So, moving on then. The next key concept is education. We need to learn these strategies. We need to learn about ourselves. We need to learn about our hopes and expectations, our relationships, where we are in life, where we want to go in life. We need to know about ourselves. And to do that, we come to these groups. We speak to other people that might have the same illness, the same problems in life, might be the same age, same sort of family situations. Okay, but we can also learn from books, DVDs, the internet, with caution. Recognised sites are the best thing to go to. Other mental health organisations. There are many ways that we can educate ourselves. To do so, we look at the next key concepts of the WRAP. Self-advocacy. We need to learn to speak to ourselves, to ask for help. We need to know our rights. Part of the WRAP is looking at the personal Bill of Rights. You have the right to ask questions. You have the right to be happy. You have the right to be wrong, to make mistakes. You have the right to express yourself, to feel safe. There are many rights that you have, and it's good to get an in-depth understanding of this, because with self-advocacy it will give you that assertiveness to be able to advocate. But of course, The last concept is support. And that's where we are today. We need support. We cannot suddenly have the first 4 key concepts without support. We're not asking you to suddenly be experts on RAP. And who might your supporters be? People who care about you, can empathise with you, definitely listen to you, accept you, encourage you, not to be judgmental. They may be friends, relatives. They may be people like myself who facilitates these groups. Doctors, perhaps. You have many, many supporters, and it's just getting that realisation of who they are and what they might do for you. In a nutshell, with support, we can learn to speak for ourselves, to advocate for ourselves, to learn, to know that it's our responsibility, and work towards our well-being, our hopes, our goals. RAP falls into many parts, and the working parts of RAP start here. The Wellness Toolbox. We are the expert on ourselves. We know the things that make us feel well, the things that we can do. These are going to be many and varied. It's good if they can be cheap, realistic, and timely as well. The things that make you feel well. It could be having a shower. It could be watching your favourite TV show. Some form of relaxation, meditation. It might be using light, being outside, having the sun on your skin, going for a walk, taking the dog out, taking the children out, visiting somewhere. An awareness of your diet, what foods make you feel good, what time of the day. Are you getting exercise? Should you be going for a walk? Just a little bit of something that raises your heartbeat a few times a week. Are you sleeping well? Are there things that can help you to sleep? Do you have a faith or any spirituality? There are many things that can go into this wellness toolbox. It might be polishing your car. It might be speaking to a friend on the telephone. The list is endless, and again, these are personal to you. Daily maintenance. We know what is a good day for ourselves, and if we don't, we're going to develop that. Do we get up at a timely part of the day? We've had a good sleep. Do we have breakfast when we get up? Do we have a shower? Do we clean our teeth? What do we do in the morning? Take the dog for a walk, breakfast, visit somebody, appointments. What do we do that might fill the morning? Lunchtime, do we have lunch? Do we have a healthy lunch? Do we then get up after lunch and have a bit of exercise? What sort of things do you do in the day? What are the things that make you feel good? Would you use things out of your wellness toolbox? Is it worth looking at your wellness toolbox? Are you using your wellness toolbox? And you need to think about what you're like when you are well. I seem to have made a bit of a jumble of the daily maintenance, or Bailey as it says. The RAP is a wellness recovery action plan. Wellness is the key word there. What are you like when you are well? Only you can know that. You may not have been well for a long time. It might be difficult to remember. You might have to do some of these things to make you feel better, to give you that more enjoyment, that fulfillment in life. Are you a happy person? Are you an outgoing person? Do you feel fit? Do you feel invigorated? Do you do lots of exercise? Do you visit people? Do you talk a lot? Do you spend time with friends? You will know what you're like when you're well. Ask other people. People that are close to you, family, friends, they almost certainly will know what you're like when you're well. And thereby they probably know what you're like when you're not so well. Do they say to you, "You're okay today? You seem a bit down. Is there anything that I can do to help you?" A supporter. It's important to know what you're like when you're well, because if you don't, how do you know you're working to that place of well-being? The next part is when we can take action, we can plan. This part of the RAP starts with triggers. This is a really important part of the RAP. It's all important, but I think the understanding of triggers really underpins how RAP will work. And again, triggers are so different for all of us. It could be something small. It could be that you missed the bus this morning and you were late to this group. That might just set you off. It might ruin your day. Make it it can just go on. It could go on past the day. It could be a family problem, arguments, stress at work. We have many, many, many triggers. It might be busy shopping centres. We need to try to identify these things. Going to the doctor, perhaps. With the trigger, we need to learn how we deal with it. Very often people have triggers and they deal with them just on a daily basis. I'm sure everybody in all of the groups that I facilitated do. You automatically do things. You were late for the bus. Okay, my alarm clock didn't go off. Do I need another alarm clock? Did the alarm clock go off and I didn't hear it? Does it need to be a bit louder? Do I need to put it on the other side of the room so I actually have to get out of bed to turn it off? You may already do this sort of thing. And that is an action plan. Everybody has triggers and everybody has action plans. But if your wellness is not as good, you need to develop these action plans to work out how you can resolve that trigger. And we must always remember that RAP is part of our action plan. Do we need to look back and use the wellness toolbox, our daily maintenance? You know, it could be that being late for work. That could be on your daily maintenance, about setting your alarm clock, about putting it on the other side of the room, you know, about the timing of your breakfast. How early do you need to be for the bus? It might be about making an appointment for the doctor. You might not like to speak to the receptionist. Can you make your appointment online? Can you get support to make that appointment? It could be that you don't like crowded waiting rooms. Can you get an appointment early in the day? Can you take a distraction? This is action planning your trigger. Sometimes the action plan doesn't work, and sometimes we can drop into a state of lesser well-being. We can suddenly find ourselves not in such a good place, and this would be called, as far as RAP is concerned, an early warning sign. This may well be a lack of motivation. You know, things that are starting to knock your well-being. You might be overspending money, you might be drinking too much, you might be very emotional, avoiding things, missing appointments. You know, these things are a bit more serious than the triggers, and your action plan needs to be different. All of these sections have an action plan. Again, using your RAP, is it that something in your action plan for triggers hasn't worked? Is it something that you have to change? Do you need to do something different? Did you not get that doctor's appointment because you just couldn't bring yourself to do it? You didn't know who to ask? Was it because you don't like the telephone? Is there something different that you can do? Your well-being isn't as good, okay, as it was. What things can you do to change it? Do you need the motivation? Do you need to get a friend round and just give you a little bit of support? Just to be there when you make a phone call? The action plan could well involve many of the parts in the trigger action plan, but you just might need to go a step further with them. You know, some people, some of us, myself, have been quite unwell, and you know, my early warning signs have been really high anxiety, total lack of motivation, being off sick from work. I needed support to sort these things out. I needed to go to the doctor. Perhaps I'd already been to the doctor at the earlier stage when anxiety was just starting to have a serious effect on my well-being. Do I need to go back to the doctor? Do I need to change my medication? These are things that have happened to me, so I can speak from personal experience. Do I need to go and get some support? Am I actually using my RAP? So your early warning signs, as I said, are a step on from your triggers. It's something where you need to take a little bit more action. Your action plan has to be stronger, more supportive to bring you back to your place of well-being. All of this is to bring you back to your place of well-being. The next section of RAP is when things are breaking down. Again, this will have an action plan. But when things are breaking down, for me, I was a lot more needy. I just really couldn't cope with life on my own. I was spending too long in bed. I spent the morning in bed, and when I dragged myself out, I felt awful. I felt awful because I had too much sleep. I felt awful because I wasted the day. I was isolating. I was not going out. I wasn't meeting people. I wasn't talking. People may have more anger, irrational behaviour, money problems that you're not dealing with, might not be eating properly, suicidal thoughts. That was something that happened to me. You know, I can remember standing, looking down my drive at the road with the cars going by, you know, wondering if I should take my own life, basically. And my wife stepped in as a supporter. She phoned and got me an emergency appointment with a psychiatrist. I had my medication changed. Again, it's a step up in the action plan. Sometimes people say to me, you can't just do triggers, action plan, early warning signs, action plan, when things are breaking down, action plan. You end up with this massive list of how you are going to sort things out. And then you're going to get confused and baffled and actually not know what to do. They're going to be similar, the action plans. They're just going to need to go the step further. Can you do things on your own? Do you need that support? Do you need a different type of support? Do you need advice? Can you go to somewhere like mine, other support groups, and talk to people that have been in a similar situation? Some of us have been very unwell and have had a crisis. And again, this can be very different for all of us. It may well be that you've ended up in hospital, you've lost your job, somebody in the family has died. something that has a significant impact on your well-being. Your supporters are crucial here, and the elements of the RAP will look at the areas where you can get your best support. How have you recorded your RAP? Have you got it written down? Have you recorded it by voice, used pictures? I've worked with somebody who couldn't read very well. He used pictures. Is that RAP shared with somebody? Have you shared part of it with somebody? Do your supporters know when you are unwell? Do they know what the best thing they can do for you? Do they need to take over any of your responsibilities? Do they need to walk the dog? Do they need to take the children to school? Do a bit of cooking for you? Who to contact? You may well share this with a doctor. You may well make an appointment and have already shared your RAP or the parts of RAP you want to with your doctor. There might be things you don't want them to do. There may be a friend that you don't want to know, you don't want contacted. There may be a type of medication you don't want to take. It may be a hospital that you don't want to go to. And if any of those things happen, that could have a detrimental effect on your well-being. So your supporters need to know what those things are. It needs to be reported. You know, what treatments are good for you? What medication is good for you? Do you have any alternative therapies? Do you have a massage? I worked with a lady once who always had a cup of tea at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was really crucial to her well-being. And if she ever missed that, that was a trigger for her to be unwell. You know, if the person's going to hospital that you're supporting, or when you are being supported, can they say to the hospital, try and give them a cup of tea at 3, it will make them feel better. Where do you want to be cared for? Do you want to stay at home if absolutely possible? Family, friend? Is there a particular hospital if you go to hospital? Or any facility that you feel is better for your well-being? Your doctor, psychiatrist, nurses, anybody where you've perhaps previously had treatment and it's worked for you. And then the last element of RAP is the post-crisis plan. You will come out of crisis, but you need to know when you are coming out of crisis, and your RAP will help you with that. This record of when you are well, what you like doing, your healthy day, the support you get, the things that you do for yourselves, the things that you need help with. If you haven't recorded that, it's difficult to know when you're really getting well, when things are picking up. But also to remind yourself, you know, what to do to have a good day. You know, if you know that having a shower is good for you in the morning, okay, you've ended up in hospital and that's totally gone out of the window, then, you know, if you're now getting up and you're feeling about that you need to have a shower, then that's good, and you know when you're starting to become well. Do your supporters still need to help you? Do you still need to have the dog taken for a walk every day? Could you do it on a Monday and a Wednesday and your supporter do it on the other days of the week? Are you going to be taking your children back to school? Are you starting to cook for yourself? Could your supporters perhaps cook lunch for you and you do dinner? You need a timetable when these things come back. A lot of employers will say, okay, we'll come back and work 3 hours a day, come back on a Monday and Tuesday. Slowly build your time up. Is there anything you need to change in RAP for the future? It's a living document. Keep referring to it. Do you need to apologise to anybody? Do you need to sort out money situation? Do you need to pay bills? You need a plan to bring us back to that place of well-being. That's a very quick explanation of RAP. As I said, I am an advocate for it. I think it's a wonderful strategy. I without doubt use it on a daily basis. And you know, I have maintained a place of well-being for quite some time now. I did RAP a couple of years ago, and I hope that whenever I facilitate groups, that the people in it do gain from this strategy. That's it. Thank you.